Hi everyone, it's the EnglishSimmer here, and this video is brought to you through the EA Creator Network. As you all know by now, I got early access to The Sims 4 Growing Together, the brand new expansion pack for The Sims 4, and this video is going to focus on all the Creator Sim items that come with this pack. So the base game is actually getting an update to likes and dislikes, however, only the number of likes and dislikes that you can have is going up to 50 in the base game, and that's basically to cover all bases. We are getting a lot of new likes and dislikes in this expansion pack. Both of these new categories will actually be part of the expansion pack. They won't be part of base game, and they are broken up into sim characteristics and then also conversation topics. They're basically created to work alongside compatibility. So just to give you a few examples, I'm not going to go through all of these, but you can check them out and pause the video and stuff if you want to go into detail. But for the sim characteristics, you have things such as ambitiousless, you have funny, you have optimistic, pessimistic sims, spirited sims, romantic sims. There's a bunch of different things that you can like about someone and that you can also dislike about someone. If you're getting your hands on this pack, I would say add as many of these as possible to your sims just to play around with them, because it is actually quite fun to discover. And then for conversation topics, you have things such as deception, flirtation, pranks, more so the categories that we are getting on the new pie menu when it comes to base game. And of course, it wouldn't be Growing Together without talking about the younger sims, so kids actually get 4 new aspirations in this pack that get you working on 2 types of skills. You have Playtime Captain. This sim loves to seek out active play with friends. This includes things like going to the splash pad, working on your motor skill along with your social skill, riding bikes and becoming friends with other people. Creative Genius. This sim wants to build their creative mental skills to inspire innovation and play, which includes working on your creativity skill and also your mental skill, going stargazing, sleeping in a treehouse. Slumber Party Animal. This sim wants to be the life of the party in a uniquely creative way. So of course you have to attend a slumber party. You have to achieve a goal in a slumber party event and then also work on your creativity skill alongside your social skill. And finally, we have Mind and Body. This sim wants to master both their mind and body. Why are these children now so self-aware? What is happening? For this, you have to focus on your mental skill and your motor skill, learn to ride a bike 12 hours without a negative need moodlet. You're gonna have to be on top of that and become confident. Not gonna lie, they are pretty easy to do. I think I played like on and off, like hopping into other saves and stuff as the same sim for about a week, and I actually managed to complete 2 of these. However, I will say the reward traits are actually pretty good and kind of OP. Ooh, also when you're in that household relationship section of Creator Sim, you can actually choose a family dynamic from Creator Sim, so you don't have to go through gameplay if you don't want to. You can choose close, distant, supportive, permissive, difficult, strict, or jokesters. I'm fairly sure that's all the ones that they offer you in Creator Sim, and also the only ones available within the game. They're all the ones that I've seen throughout me playing this. You still can't within Creator Sim choose extended family. There isn't any like grandma, grandpa option, cousin, niece, any of that. You still just have to like make the extra sims and sort of create that family tree within Creator Sim and then shift sims out of that household and stuff. That's what I did for my gameplay. Just thought I would point that out because I know a lot of people were going to ask about that. And let's see what the actual Creator Sim assets have up their sleeve. You know, I'm not like 100% invested in Creator Sim when I do speed up the video slightly. I can't speed up my voice. I can speed up the actual video feed, okay? We're starting off with the feminine Creator Sim because, as always, they get the most. Of course they do. They get 64 items in total. Those come with 12 skin details, which is what I'm showing off right now. These include 2 birthmarks, exclusive to the pack. These are all exclusive to the pack. I'm not really going to go over base game. 2 birthmarks, 5 moles, 5 freckles on the face. They also get 1 brow scar and 1 mouth scar, 8 hairs, 2 hats, 1 set of earrings, 9 full body skin details, 3 freckles and 6 moles, 14 tops, 7 bottoms, 8 outfits, and 1 pair of leggings. Weirdly, no shoes in this pack. The hairs on this one, it's basically 6. I say 8, but 2 of them actually just have different like colorings within them. But one has a different hairband, the other one has different like unnatural hair colors. Honestly, I like the hairs. I just wish that there was more of them. I also think that some of them are gorgeous. The afro textured hairs that we're getting in this pack, absolutely incredible. I'm so glad we have them. The other ones, not my favorites, not gonna lie. The like swoopy short one feels like a lot of hairs that I think we already have in the game. Some of them are stunning though. The two buns with like the braids in the front and the big bun definitely have to be my favorites, like hands down. I also love the texture on the short curly hair. I think that looks really good. So you know what, we might not be getting as many hairs as we are used to over the years. However, I do feel like they're a pretty good quality, and I do have to say I think that's really gonna be like a running theme of this Create a Sim video. Like, some of these things actually stand out and are like different than what we have, and I'm really glad about that. And I do think that the details are really good. I absolutely love the headscarf that we are getting. Again, that's something really unique to this pack that we don't really have. However, I also think that comes as like this Create a Sim's downfall, in the sense that the things that don't feel all that different. I know not everyone owns like every single pack, but it does feel very similar to like a lot of things that we've had the past, what, 3 years, 4 years now for The Sims 4. There's a lot of comfy cozy stuff. There is again a lot of knitting, there is a lot of crochet, and it just feels so similar to what I personally already have in my game. And obviously I'm very lucky and I do have access to all of the packs in The Sims 4, so yes, if you don't have all of them, this may feel different to you. Not all of it is that standout, specifically the feminine stuff. There are some really nice pieces. I actually think the full body outfits are my favorites because I do feel like they are the most unique, but the knitwear and leisure wear, honestly, can we please just step away from them? I really don't like this like knitted t-shirt. I'm not gonna get a lot of use out of it. I adore the cardigan, like the fluffy cardigan with a little corset underneath. I think that's a stunning piece of Create a Sim. And then I also feel like the theming is kind of a little bit mismatched, because you have the comfy cozy and you have like the leisure wear stuff, and I do feel as if they were trying to cover like a lot of bases when it came to age ranges, which I appreciate. I'm so down for elders getting their spotlight in this game, and it does feel as if that pack kind of leans into it. Me personally, I kind of would have wished that they lent into it more, but obviously this is trying to cover like the whole family, so I can see why they didn't. I guess if we ever get like an elder game pack or an elder based expansion, that's when we'll finally get all those clothes that I've been hoping for. And obviously it kind of goes against a little bit what we got in high school years, because that was very teen focused, so I appreciate that, but I feel like they were trying to do too much with too little assets. I will say though, if you have been wanting more modest clothing, more conservative clothing, I really think that you're going to enjoy this pack, because there are actually like longer tops with like sleeves, there are longer trousers with high-waisted things, there's not as many crop tops, there are still a couple because this is The Sims 4. I do think the feminine bottoms are very similar to what we already have in the game. I know that's going to be a complaint that you hear from me, but literally, like, I feel like I could load up my game and I could find so many pieces that already look similar to these. The bottoms really were not doing it for me. Like I said, the full body fits were really where this feminine Create a Sim I think shines for me personally. I like a couple of the dresses that come with it. I kind of like that they went for a more vintage look, and I just think if they had stuck maybe with the vintage theme, which they kind of did and then they kind of didn't. I also feel like some of these outfits were just made for like specific occasions. The like glittery full body like workout gear, definitely for the glamour in your life while she's out doing a power walking, and I don't really like it when Create a Sim assets are so super specific in my brain, but I can see a lot of people wearing that maybe when they're busting the dust. I think there's also a pair of like new base game trainers, but they don't come in the pack. The masculine sim is actually wearing them, and we'll take a little look at them. Which, speaking of the masculine sim, here Christopher is. This is the Michaelsons, by the way. If I didn't introduce them, they are a pre-made family. For the masculine sims, they actually get 12 skin details. They are all the same as the feminine ones. So you get 2 birthmarks, which are like the heart-shaped birthmarks on the forehead, 5 moles, 5 freckles, 1 brow scar, 1 mouth scar, 6 hairs, but again, basically 4 because you have the one with the different hairband, and then you also have the one with the different unnatural colors or tips. You actually get 1 facial hair. It is an afro textured curly facial hair, which thank goodness, I am so glad that they definitely are trying to diversify facial hair alongside actual hairstyles. That's something that the game has been needing for a while now, so thank you Sims team for listening to feedback on that one, it feels like. They also get the 1 hat, which is like the fedora, Jason Mraz energy, 9 body skin details, which I don't know if I covered in this video. You get moles and freckles for the full body as well, which I think is quite nice. 19 tops for the masculine Sims, which honestly might be some of the most amount of tops we've ever got for masculine tagged Sims. 7 bottoms and 1 full body fit. So they actually get 58 in total against 64. We are creeping on up to that equality portion of Create a Sim, which I'm really glad about. I know I haven't really been talking like specifically about the masculine stuff that we're getting. I'm gonna hold my hands up and say I really like it. Feminine, honestly, I could take or leave it in this pack. The masculine Create a Sim in this pack is exactly what I wanted. I feel that way because I think it covers the basics very well. I think it covers hot and cold weather outfits very well. And this might be because I feel as if masculine Create a Sim is lacking in general. And so when they do focus on the basics, I'm like, oh my word, thank goodness. This is something that I've been craving for. I'm gonna get so much use out of this. Like, feminine Sims already have the basics, you know? Like, you really have to, I feel, switch it up in feminine Create a Sim to make it feel different. Masculine, you don't actually have that. Like, they aren't sort of like vying for the same, I guess, pieces that we already have, which is so nice. I will say the Sims team seem to be loving a sweater vest. We do get another one in this one, and they're kind of like all the same silhouette. This one does have buttons, so it makes it a little bit different, but yeah, they're really enjoying the baggy oversized sweater vest with like a baggy t-shirt. Again, you still kind of have that like comfy cozy and athleisure wear, but then you also bring in those like basics, like the bowling shirt and kind of the 90s crop t-shirt, and it has that vintage inspiration. Don't get me wrong, the bottoms still aren't my favorite. For how many times we have khakis, or what's the other, combat trousers, I think. For how many times we have that in the game, I really want to see some like tapered ones, mainly in base game though, because we do have them in like Snowy Escape and stuff. I really don't like their full body like tracksuit, but I do feel as if it's going to be good on some Sims. It just feels weird that there's like a dress shirt underneath it. I guess it's kind of like if you're maybe power walking home from the office, which there aren't any actually new careers in this pack, so I don't really know where the inspiration came from, but I cannot rave about this masculine Create a Sim enough. I really like it. For the kiddos, we get 51 items in total. Obviously, they get the 4 new aspirations. They get 7 skin details, 5 freckles, 2 birthmarks. That's facially. They get 5 new teeth, which are basically just a variant of like 1 tooth missing at the front, but for everyone that we have. So like the regular teeth, the braces, etc. 1 brow scar, 1 mouth scar. I'm really glad that they get the scars. It's kind of like canon that Sims kids, I guess, hit themselves in the face with their bikes or maybe even fall off, so they get a little mouth scar, which is technically on their chin. Don't be fooled. That's for every Sim. They get 4 hairs, 1 hat, 2 necklaces, 9 full body skin details, 3 freckles, 6 moles, 9 tops, 5 bottoms, 2 full bodies, and 1 bracelet. I hope I'm covering everything. Honestly, I kind of like the kids Create a Sim as well. Again, it doesn't feel too different from what we've already had, but when it comes to kid Sims, I feel like any Create a Sim is kind of good enough for me because I do feel as if they don't have a lot. I want to give a shout out to the one specific top that I am in love with. It gives me like a little bit of like French chic. The double collar like rugby shirt. I think it's so adorable. I'm going to be using it on so many Sims. You have no idea. We finally got ourselves some long jorts for the kiddos. Oh my word, I cannot tell you how long I have been asking for like just a normal pair of long denim denim shorts that aren't like super high, that don't have a tail attached to them like the ones that we got in Werewolves, I can finally rejoice. I actually think the kids' bottoms like offer a fair bit of variety. I feel like it slightly fills in holes for kid sims that we don't have. I do kind of wish that the dungarees were a little bit different. They just feel like kind of similar to silhouettes that we've already have. I have this really cute pair of dungas that have like a drop crotch in CC, and they just look like a lot more comfortable. They kind of look like toddler wear that's been converted to children, and I would have preferred something like that, but that's just me personally being like a little bit picky. I will say one thing that I do find weird about the kids is the fact that they actually don't get facial moles. They get the freckles, but they don't have access to the moles. I don't really know why that's a thing. The toddlers and the infants don't get the moles either. Like, I am a moley person. You lot know that I have been wanting that mole representation, and I feel like we're finally getting it. Don't get me wrong, I would still like to just draw on our sim and like be able to add details that we want, but we finally have access to them in this expansion, but kids don't. I don't know what the choice was behind that. I don't know if they maybe didn't like fit the kid's face properly, or they just couldn't get them to work. Toddlers get the 5 facial freckles and the 2 birthmarks, the brow scar, the mouth scar, 3 hairs, 1 set of glasses, which I had a pair of glasses like this when I was a kid, 9 full body skin details, so you actually get the freckles and the moles on the body, which again just doesn't make sense, 3 tops, 3 bottoms, 2 full bodies, 1 pair of socks, and actually 2 pairs of shoes for the toddlers. The toddler stuff, I mean, I feel like toddler stuff is always gonna look super cute in Create a Sim. I don't know what other descriptive words you want me to say. Do I feel like it feels necessary? Again, it might just be because toddlers don't actually have that much, so it feels like it's filling a gap, but again, I can't really remember what toddlers do and don't have, because I feel like I just tend to use the same things over and over again. The full body dungarees with the frilly top gets my own personal special shout out though, because I absolutely love it. They also didn't get ignored from the sweater vest. Love it. Call me Cody Martin. Was that his name in Sweet Life of Zack and Cody? He always wore a sweater vest, so whenever I see them now, I just think of Cody from The Sweet Life. It's literally been imprinted into my brain. Also, toddlers finally get really, really nice trainers, which I'm so glad about, because I have been using the flippin' Converse for years. I was like, ooh, should we really go through the infant traits? Because these actually come in the base game. I don't think any of them are actually tied to the expansion, although I will hold my hands up and say I did not have time to like only play base game only, so I'm not like 100% on what comes with base game and what comes in the expansion pack. I'm fairly sure these are all base game. If you want to, you can pause to read if you for some reason can't update your game right now, or you haven't been able to check them out. They come with calm, cautious, sensitive, sunny, wiggly, and frustrated or something along those lines. The infants actually get the least, which isn't surprising when you think they were probably alongside like developing this pack, they were also working on infants as like a base game. And so I feel like they've given us like items to sort of bump up infants a little bit, but nothing that you feel like is completely missing from infants. So they get 2 facial details, which are the little heart-shaped birthmarks. They don't get access to freckles or moles, maybe just because their faces are like so tiny. They get 4 hairs, 1 hat, 1 set of glasses, which I am so in love with. I absolutely love when like babies or little kids get glasses for the first time. It's one of my favorite genres of TikToks. It makes me cry every single time. And then they actually got 6 full body details, which are moles. So again, they get moles on their bodies, but they don't get moles on their face. And they actually don't get any like separate tops or bottoms in the expansion. They just get 11 full body, which I'm just gonna squeal a bit. I shouldn't squeal. I know it's harsh on your ears. It annoys people. I won't squeal. I will contain myself. I do think they're very, very cute. But like I said, It's kind of just like an addition, a nice addition for infants. I don't really feel like you're gonna feel like you're missing anything if you just stick to base game when it comes to infants, because obviously they're gonna be brand new anyway. You already have like a lot of outfits coming with base game. It's just adorable. I just think they develop them so well. I will say when it comes to Create a Sim, especially when it's like full body outfits, I sort of wish with infants you could decide on which pose they were in, because when you put like the bottoms on them, they roll over, which is really helpful for seeing the design, and you can't always see that when they're like sat that way, especially on a onesie. Like, what if it had like a detail on like a bottom? That's one thing I will say that I wish you could kind of change when it came to looking at these. Super cute clothing, a lot of onesies, a couple of like dungarees and things like that. And there we have it. That pretty much wraps up Create a Sim for this expansion pack. Masculine Create a Sim hands down takes the cake for me. I absolutely bloody love it. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of use out of it, again, because it does the basics very, very well, that I feel like even like masculine CC hasn't really hit all that often for me. Everything else, there are like specifics that I love, but it doesn't feel too different for a lot of other like feminine and like kids and things. Like I said, I just think we need to step away from some of the themes, or maybe give us like 1 or 2 comfy jumpers in the future and then switch it up. I know it kind of depends on like what theme you're going with when it comes to the expansion for what like Create a Sim is gonna cover, but maybe this just means that we need more alternative packs, because I feel like there's so much fashion that is missing in this game, and I feel like I'm just saying the same things over and over again in Create a Sim overviews, which isn't fun for anyone. You know, I don't like kits, but I feel as if that's where like kits actually do have some meaning to them when it comes to Create a Sim, because at least sometimes they're giving us something different, like business casual. I would love still like a lot of grunge, alternative, like so many different styles that I just feel like we're not getting from the bigger packs within this game. I think a lot of my criticism, to be honest, can probably be drawn down to they had to cover a lot of different age groups, and they had to cover like feminine and masculine within those age groups, and I feel like the feminine tag stuff really felt that. But hey, on the plus side, I'm also glad this was like younger skewing. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Let me know how you feel about this Create a Sim. Let me know what your favorite pieces were, what you think you're gonna get a lot of usage out of. I appreciate you all, and I will speak to you all in my next video, which is gonna be covering growing together gameplay. I'm manifesting it, it's gonna happen.